So it kind of looks like the whole influencers being tied to Russian influence operations thing is maybe just getting started. Because while we've all been talking about the hilarious news that popular right-wing influencers like Tim Pool and Dave Rubin were duped into and handsomely rewarded for allegedly participating in a Russian influence operation, an FBI affidavit was also unsealed this week. And it exposes, in what Wired's David Gilbert called, quote, unprecedented detail, Russian influence tactics to try to undermine support for Ukraine, deepen divisions, and impact the outcome of the upcoming US election, specifically to help Donald Trump win. This affidavit was unsealed amid the news the FBI seized 32 domains it alleges are tied to a Russian disinformation campaign known as quote-unquote doppelganger, which used AI to generate content on a bunch of fake websites designed to look like legitimate ones like the Washington Post and Fox News, and also used a bunch of fake social accounts to spread pro-Russia talking points around the world. The exhibits attached to this affidavit detail plans like this guerrilla media campaign to exploit divisions within the US with what I would describe as conspiratorial narratives. Although the Russians don't call them that, obviously. Like claims that Republicans are victims of racism by people of color, and that unemployed people of color are privileged while white taxpayers are being impoverished. In another exhibit, a plot the Russians call Good Old USA details plans to work with influencers, specifically ones who are proponents of traditional values who stand up for ending the war in Ukraine and peaceful relations between the US and Russia, and who are ready to get involved in the promotion of project narratives. On top of all of that, and this is the really mind-blowing part, the SDA, a Russian IT company the FBI alleges is involved in this influence operation, apparently has a list of more than 2,800 influencers that they're actively monitoring and collecting information about around the world, and more than 20% of them are based in the US. Now, the FBI didn't release this list as an exhibit associated with the affidavit, so we don't really know much more, like if Russia reached out to any of these influencers to work with them, or who these influencers actually are beyond the broad categories listed here. But what we do know is the documents make it clear that Russia wants to work with influencers on their influence campaigns. So will this be the last headline of its kind? I'm not so sure, but we'll have to wait and see. What do you think of all this?